Hello everyone, here we are in another tournament game. Today we have the 8th seed Lead Pink versus the 9th seed Breaker. It is game 2 of this first round series, and we will go ahead and do the map and enemy selection. Breaker, it is your pick. Do you want the map or the enemy?
Give me Firebase Vertigo.
Vertigo, he's picking the map. So we're going to go Firebase Vertigo, that is down here. And then Lead Pink, you have the enemy.
Vertigo. See, I wish I knew this. This is what we were talking about before. Now I'd have to look. Vertigo is the one where it's like the two stations at each end of the board.
No, it's the one where you're on like the frozen-ish looking planet where you're really high up in the air. It's mainly flat.
Vertigo. God dang it.
It's the one where if you fall off, you're going to be falling for like 2 miles.
Yeah.
Way up on a tower.
That's okay. Whatever. I'll figure. Character selection. Note if we're up there on the thing. So if you're up on the tower up there, you get that. I am going to go with for enemy then. Vertigo. I am gonna go with the flying motherfuckers. Whatever they're called.
So, Remnant?
Yep.
With the Breachers?
Yep.
Alright, so we're doing Vertigo Remnant. We'll go ahead and give our contestants a little bit of time to adjust their builds if need be. I think Breaker's already ready though. Lead Pink, I'll go ahead and give you a couple seconds to get your boosters on, and then we will get into this matchup. Like to say, this is game number 2 in this series. Lead Pink took the first game. We'll see if Breaker can tie it up, or if Lead Pink will be moving on. So Breaker's already ready, got his check mark on. He wants this matchup. The weapons are good from our contestants, so that is a positive step in the right direction. Lead Pink getting his boosters on now. He's got the second one on. Richard is ready, my co-host for this one. I'll wait for Lead Pink's check, and once that's up, I'll know it's time for me to put mine on, and we will get into the match.
Gold remnant. There you go.
Alright, Lead Pink's ready, but oh, Breaker might be changing something slightly here. We'll see what Breaker does. Any last minute changes? Weapons are good though, so just want to make sure of that. Alright. The calm before the calm before the storm. Loading screen hints. Alright, Breaker's ready.
I just gotta click on this thing and I'm about to be ready.
Alright, and he is ready, so they are both ready. Richard's ready, I am ready. Let's go ahead and get into this matchup. Game number 2, Vertigo Remnant, 8th seed versus 9th seed, Lead Pink versus Breaker.
Good luck, man. Good luck.
Here we go. This ought to be a fun one. Hard to expect what's going to happen on this map. Very open, very dynamic. You can get surrounded pretty easily. So we'll see. But right now, we're now in just the calm before the storm.
Sneak up on them. If he tries to take that top spot to throw it in any direction, I think I can sneak around him and at least throw my shockwave to get assist.
Oh, so you're going to be the one doing the sneaking here, not the enemy.
I hope so.
All right, we'll see how that works. I will be following Breaker here for Wave 1. My co-host Richard will be following Lead Pink. Alright, where is Breaker at? There's Lead Pink. And Breaker's here, he is off. Lead Pink is also off over there. And oh, okay, he's going to do a little bit of unconventional hopping. He's going to stay here at the top. Now he's going to drop back down to the bottom. So both contestants were kind of in the middle of the map, and a Breaker moves all the way to the back, forcing the spawns to be in front. But that might give Lead Pink the advantage, though. Early advantage, actually. So Lead Pink off to the side, and I think he draws first blood, and he does. 100 to 80, real early here in Wave 1. So Breaker's still looking for a decent spawn, but he does have that range again. Once again, it is a soldier versus a juggernaut. So same type of matchup we saw in Game 1. And that worked in Lead Pink's favor, of course, where he took Game 1. Breaker looking to try to tie the series. Lead Pink looking to put it away on Game 2 here of this first round. Breaker heading toward LZ. Trying to work more at the top of the map here. A little more of a range game overall. Check score again, 900 to 800. Lead Pink on top, and now it's both the 900s apiece. So they're flip-flopping scores right now. So neck and neck, just as the first one started, and Breaker goes down and flings himself all the way across the map. And he gets placed back up here, so that's unfortunate by him, but does wait for a revive. And does get the revive provided. So that'll give Lead Pink a momentary advantage right now, but not too terribly much. Breaker does have the high ground at the moment, trying to get enemies from afar, and that is working to his advantage, it looks like. But Lead Pink is working the bottom of the map here, if you can call this the bottom. We're way up in the sky here. Alright, Breaker, Lead Pink, side by side. Breaker on the lower part, now breaking away from Lead Pink, trying to get to another part of the map, has enemies behind him. Not too terribly many. Down to the last 3 enemies here on this wave, Wave 1. Breaker left this enemy over here, must see something he likes better back there. Lead Pink gets that one, so the end of Wave 1 is Lead Pink, 2100 to 1800, so Lead Pink on top. Very similar so far to the first matchup following Lead Pink here for Wave 2. Both contestants at the back of the map, at the most defensible position of Vertigo. Lead Pink out in the center now, sort of in the death zone, but now circling back, has a nice position on this spawn, now watching from afar. Let me see, get that nice angle there and right in the center of everything. That should help him out. Got to reposition a little bit, though. Does have a lot of enemies around him, but using cover to his advantage, getting the cryo explosions, that'll help him out a bit. Downing some more enemies. Breaker, don't see him on the kill feed just yet. Circling back around near LZ. So both contestants being a little bit more methodical now, playing a little bit more defensively, maybe, from that first game. Well, the Lead Pink goes down, waiting for revive this time, right here to provide it, getting him back up and back into the action. Breaker goes down, 3700 to 1900, Lead Pink on top. Lead Pink working this right lower side if you're facing toward LZ. Really nothing down here right now, has to circle back around to try to find some more enemies. Finds a few, well, really finds a nullifier over there, and it's going to be a few points for him, but it's not a giant spawn. But right now, Breaker only got a frag grenade kill with the assembler, so right now, contestant's not doing too terribly much damage, but they're slowly working through them. Oh, it's a good thing I landed on this stairwell. I almost jumped off the map, I thought. Although that is not a strange thing to do for me. Once again, side by side, both of our contestants working one of these stairwells here. Breaker goes down. Richard's still there to provide revive, and he is. So Breaker being patient, letting the Avenger do his job, reviving the contestant. Ooh, let me go ahead and get out of the way here, because Lead Pink was repositioning into that center area in the back of the map. Breaker goes down again, so it gives him an advantage. I'm talking about Lead Pink here working this center stairwell now, and letting the enemies come toward him. So both contestants being maybe a little bit more defensive here on this map versus this enemy. Down to the last 3 enemy, fighting Nice observer over here, downs him decently easy once again. Nullifier, Lead Pink will be facing, should down him pretty quickly as well. Breaker, trying to steal it, does steal the Nullifier kill. And we're down to just the Breacher. And at the end of that wave, let's go ahead and look. It is 7,200 to 3,200. Lead Pink is on top by a decent margin. We're going into wave 3 with the upload. Alright. So we got uploads left, right, and center. Following Breaker here for wave 3. He is over here on one of the side ones, so I will go ahead and follow him. Don't want to crowd him, though, obviously. Let him do his job. Let him throw the grenades, get those range kills, while he's also getting the points for the objective. Go ahead and take a look at the score. 7,500 to 3,800. Lead Pink in the lead, with Breaker looking to close that gap right now. Doing what he can. Lead Pink goes down, so this is a momentary advantage for Lead Pink. Looks like Richard will be going over to get him. Like I say, when the Avengers are trying to do part of these objectives, sometimes they get separated from our contestants, so it might not be the best advantage point to get our contestants, but Breaker goes down, but luckily I was following him over to this next objective. But that's what makes these objectives tricky whenever we're trying to make sure the match goes on. Avengers can be a little bit out of position, so our contestants do have to realize that, and usually they do understand and they position well. But this objective should not really be too terribly much of a problem. We're getting it done. Breaker goes down, but like I say, getting him right back up and back into the fight. Lead Pink looks like he is going for kills right now. Breaker, he might be going for some kills. I'll join Richard here in the center for a second to finish this up, and we'll be back to following our contestants. It is done. Back to following Breaker primarily here for wave 3. And Breacher, get off of me. I am not on the menu. Go after somebody else, preferably one of our contestants. Breaker goes down way across the map from me, moving really quickly, but still not too terribly much time to get to him to provide revive. Alright, Breaker in the center. Looks like there is a destroyer up top, so Breaker not going for it right now, it looks like. Or now it looks like he might be. Contestants might not want to fall into the boss trap here, but if they're able to kill it quickly, if they think they are, then they are more than welcome to kill anything they like. It's about getting more points than your opponent in the best way possible, and our contestants are doing well at this right now. 11-1 to 7-6. Breaker goes down, providing revive though. Once again, being very, very patient in this matchup, saving his revives for later. I think it's just down to the destroyer, and it is going down very quickly with these nades and the snap freeze. Lead Pink gets the destroyer with the shockwave, and at the end of wave 3 is Lead Pink 12,000 to Breaker's 7,900, so Lead Pink does have the lead following Lead Pink here on wave 4. See what happens on this one. Both Lead Pink and Breaker at the back of the map waiting for the spawns to spawn in front of them. Where are they at? We got one to my left, one to my right. None in the center right now, but Lead Pink is moving forward to the left one. Already methodically taking care of the first lead enemy, backing up to reposition, and is going to take out, hopefully, the next few. Breaker, not pressing the same spawn as Lead Pink, trying to find his own from range, throwing out the concussive shots and the nades at the same time, really trying to work the range game, playing into his advantage. Lead Pink trying to get up close and personal with the enemies to make sure he gets all the damage out, but Breaker fills up the kill feed with those frag grenades. Take a look at the score again, 13,000 to 8,500, so Breaker isn't out of this yet. Needs to stay aggressive in this one, especially on the later ones. Breaker goes down, though. Needs the watch for that, but like to say, very, very patient on waiting for the Avenger to do revives, so later he can go nuts and just kill everything he can. If he goes down, doesn't matter, because he has extra revives for those later waves. Alright, both contestants in the center. Breacher over top of Lead Pink, but I think he's going to be long gone before this Breacher gets to me. And Breaker goes down again, but not before killing someone else. Lead Pink trying to maybe work with some smaller enemies, ignoring the destroyer for now, does not really want to take care of it, looking for smaller enemies to try to boost the points value a little bit quicker. Taking out everything he can, but Breaker once again fills the kill feed with frag grenade kills, 14,500 to 10,100. Lead Pink still on top, but Breaker's still somewhat close behind. Breaker down again! So this is very reminiscent of our first matchup. Now Lead Pink trying to press this advantage he has right now, working the very center of the map in the thick of things. Wouldn't be surprised if he might go down here, but does reposition in time, so he was obviously fine. I think he's just trying to get into a rhythm and keep on going. He's trying to close this one out. Breaker trying to tie the series up, of course. Winner moves on to play the #1 seed Perfect in the round of 8. So we'll see who gets that matchup after maybe this one concludes, or if there will be a third game after this. Down to the last few enemies. I think it is the last one. Just to destroy up top. Breaker goes down again, but Richard there to provide a revive. And I'm going to go ahead and maybe get some nades. No, there's no nades there. Let me check the secondary spot for me. Yes, there's nades over here while they whittle down the last enemy on wave 4. Prime opportunity here for Lead Pink. Gets staggered, though. Now Breaker has a chance to try to pull this one back out. To try to get this destroyer kill. Would help him. But Lead Pink gets it with the paw at the end of wave 4. It is 16,000 and 10,900. Lead Pink with that lead following Breaker here on wave 5. Lead Pink needs to keep pressing this advantage. Breaker needs to do everything he can to try to narrow that margin. This lead for Lead Pink. Lead Pink now working the right side of the map if you're facing toward LZ from the very back. I need to get out of the way here. Breaker's trying to go after those spawns, so I will try to follow equidistant from our contestants right now because Breaker was up in the spot where I was watching Lead Pink from. Lead Pink now pushing forward back toward LZ. Following Lead Pink around here. Where is Breaker? Breaker's down over here. Oh, I think we were both out of position that time, so Richard, he was on him. But no, Breaker was getting back up, so Bender's a little bit out of position there, but that sometimes happens, like to say. Richard was following Lead Pink, or sorry, I'm following Lead Pink, Richard's following Breaker. Sometimes it gets a little bit hard to tell who in the world you're following, especially when the action is this quick and the map is this cluttered in the center. And it is very cluttered right now, and Lead Pink is retreating a bit. He needs to get out of there, and Breaker, he's already in a somewhat safe spot up above them all, and this is a prime opportunity for Breaker to go ahead and just unload nades if he has them, but Breaker goes down again, gets himself back up and into the action. So both of our contestants having some trouble here. Breaker goes down once again. Lead Pink pressing advantage, trying to do everything he can, and a Cobra comes out, turret and nullifier kills for Lead Pink. That'll really help him out. 17-7 to 13-1. Lead Pink on top. Where's Lead Pink at? Okay, there is Breaker. Lead Pink is on the other side on the lower section, coming back around the map. And it is a very, very similar game as we have seen before, but Lead Pink, I think, is being more aggressive now, really trying to use everything he has to try to close it out. And Breaker might, we see, just have a flurry of stuff coming in maybe the next wave or two. Breaker gets tossed a little bit here. I need to go ahead and cloak myself. Lead Pink working this sort of little enclave down here at the bottom of the stairs. Now pressing forward again, trying to get a better advantage up top. Looks like he does. Taking a few enemies out as he goes up there. Check score again. 19-7 to 14-1. Lead Pink still holding on to that lead. Will the lead hold? That is the question. Breaker down. Lead Pink doing a good job just to try to stay alive, pick off what he can, reposition if things get too hot. So he's playing a very methodical game right now. And this is what you need to do whenever you have a lead and you're trying to go ahead and close something out. And we're down to the last 3 enemies here on wave 5. And this is exactly what we're most likely going to see from Lead Pink as we go into the later waves. Breaker, if you're in a position where you're down a little bit, you need to be as aggressive as you can, and I know he is doing that right now with those frag grenade kills, trying to make sure that margin is manageable. Manageable being around a 3,000 point lead for your opponent. You can still come back from that somewhat easily as long as you are getting kills. So at the end of wave 5 now, going into wave 6, 20,900 to 15,300. Lead Pink still has that lead. It is devices. We'll see if this changes things up, or if the spread will stay the same. I am following primarily Oh, wait a minute, it was Lead Pink here. Lead Pink for this one. I might have accidentally switched off from one person to another, but that's okay. As long as it's called out, it's alright, but I am technically following Lead Pink for this one. Alright, got him back up. Alright, Breaker's going over that way. Lead Pink's going to stay here, so I'll go ahead and stay here myself. See where that device is. Richard is going for it. Co-host is grabbing it. Once again, our contestants, if they do want it, they can always call it out. But right now, I think they're going after the kills more. Breaker is flying across the map, so I'll go ahead and try to get to him real quick. Once again, providing revive. And there's one more on the field. It is over there, so I'll try to get a bird's eye view as it looks like Richard's going to take this one down. I'll try to stay equidistant, somewhat away from our opponents, but then I'll be back to following primarily Lead Pink. I started with Breaker. I think somewhere along the line I might have gotten a little bit confused. I'll go ahead and try to get Breaker up here. It looks like Richard will beat me there, so I'll let him get him. I'll go back to following Lead Pink. As I was saying before, though, sometimes it gets a little hectic. You might follow someone, then forget who exactly you're following. But as long as someone's on someone else, you are usually good. Now that things have been corrected, I am back on who I'm supposed to follow, Lead Pink, and then I'll be back to following Breaker as we close out game number 2. And as we come near the end of Wave 6, let me go ahead and check score once again. Right now it is Lead Pink 24-9 to 19-1. So Lead Pink has a decent lead, just needs to make sure he extracts. If you do not extract, you do not move on in this tournament. However, if both contestants do not extract, then we will play the match again. And boy, has that rule caused some interesting matchups this year already. But alright, cleanup time still on Wave 6. Not down to the last few enemies yet, but we still have a ways to go. Lead Pink doing what he can, playing from a somewhat safe distance now, not being as aggressive as in some of the earlier waves. Some of the mid-waves, I should say. But now we're down to the last few enemies here. Lead Pink now going into the fray, going to pick off what he can, not too many enemies, not many big enemies either. And I think that was the last one. At the end of Wave 6, it is Lead Pink 26-3 to Breaker 19-7. A decent lead for Lead Pink going into the final wave. I will be following Breaker here for the final one. Breaker going into the center. Richard will be on Lead Pink. And we're going to go ahead and head into the extraction wave. It is Wave 7 of this matchup. And we are at 2 minutes to go. Whatever our contestants have, they're going to use it, do everything it takes to try to squeak out a victory. Breaker back in the center, very defensive position back here, trying to reposition on the enemies. Lead Pink, I think he is out in the thick of it. Most likely he is sheltered. I don't have the best vantage point at him right now, like I say. Back here near the back of the map, and now Lead Pink has gone ahead and retreated a bit, so he doesn't really want to be out there in the thick of everything right now, being a little bit more defensive, but so is Breaker. Under a minute 30 to go in this matchup. 26-8 to 20,100. Lead Pink on top, looking to try to go ahead in this tournament. Breaker, range game again. N7 Crusader for the range game. Prime opportunity with the Destroyer down, but Breaker goes down himself, getting him back into the fight. Oh, and he has a lot around him right now. Smartly backs up. There was just too much going on in this corner. And Breaker back out into the open, repositioning to the right side of where we just were, if you see on my screen. Nice defensive position again. Approaching 30 seconds to go. 27-3 to 20,200. Lead Pink with a good lead. 30 seconds to go. Cross-map revives are off the table. Avengers will be heading to LZ momentarily. And we are at 20 seconds to go in this matchup. Contestants will be making their way to LZ. 27-4 to 20,300. Lead Pink still holding that lead. Needs to make sure he extracts, though. 6 seconds to go. And he does get here. He was closer than I initially thought, and at the end of this matchup, it is Lead Pink on top 28-9 to 21-9. Lead Pink takes the second game. 28-9 to 21-9. He will be moving on in the tournament, but first, Breaker, I'd like to talk to you. You had 2 hard-fought matches. How do you feel about being in the final Andromeda Madness tournament?
Well, let's see. I've been working a lot. Does take a lot out of you, so obviously I don't have much time to play games. But I'm hoping to finish up my Mass Effect 3 Legendary Edition playthrough, and I will be on the Mass Effect Citadel DLC very soon.
Well, Breaker, good luck
on
and
my channel. Check that out on BreakerDM.
Yep, there you go. Like I say, everyone, you can check out his channel there, BreakerDM. It was a good, hard-fought match for you, Breaker. Thank you for being a part of the final iteration of the Andromeda Madness tournament. But at the end of this one, Lead Pink, you take the series. You'll be moving on. You'll be playing the #1 seed Perfect in the next matchup. How do you feel about this one and the upcoming one?
Well, I just want to say thank you to, Breaker for playing me. I want to say thank you guys for putting this together. I know it's not easy. Obviously, we've been talking how it goes, but I just thank you for doing this. Like, this is awesome. It was a hard-fought match, and the next match I'm probably going to get smacked around, but it was fun. It's not about, it's just about being able to do what we're doing right now and having fun. And if this is the last Andromeda tournament as far as this goes, let it go out with everybody have a great freaking Christmas.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Well-spoken, Lead Pink. Breaker, it was fun having you in the tournament again. And guys, this has been a great matchup, and we will see you all in the next one.